And then the recent article in Farmers Weekly, Annette Scott uncovered a fantastic initiative happening in North Canterbury, a collective of food and beverage producers coming together with the support of the Huranui District Council to create what is known as Made North Canterbury. And joining me in studio is Alissa Wilson from Made North Canterbury. Thank you so much for taking the time to come in and join us around this fantastic initiative, bringing and unifying together people that are on the same mission to tell a provenance story, a story of how the food is produced, which is literally on the edge of the second biggest city in New Zealand. It's really exciting times. How did Made North Canterbury, the concept, originate?
Well, thanks for having me. It's great to be here. So the concept actually came from a survey that was done about 2 years ago with food and beverage producers of North Canterbury. Now, I guess they got together as a group and they decided that they actually wanted to have a brand that unified them. That was basically the gist of my brief. The concept came about by doing some desk work, like desktop research around provenance brands around the world, and I stumbled upon Genuine Jersey. So it's a 20-year-old provenance brand, and it was, I think, serendipity that I connected with their CEO, and he basically told me all about provenance and how it could be applied to North Canterbury.
Fantastic. So including in the membership, we've got Wash Creek Farm with organic beef and lamb, Harris Meats, Foothills Honey, the hemp is in a big way in North Canterbury, as well as vegetable growers, cheesemakers, and of course wine.
Yes.
You have a great connection to the wine industry before you came into this role.
Yes, I do. So before this role, I was a winemaker and also the marketing manager at Greystone Wines, which is a North Canterbury winery. I think the wineries have shown us that provenance has been around for some time, and that the food producers, maybe are a little bit behind, but also how strong it is to connect with a regional story. So I kind of took their cues as well.
What makes the regional story North Canterbury? I mean, I'm from Central Otago, and I'm very proud that I feel like we've really started to divine, as you said, through the wine story, but to the wider artisan producer of the romance of Central Otago and its sort of ruggedness. What is the North Canterbury story particularly, do you think?
Well, I think the North Canterbury food and beverage story is very diverse. I think you just have to take a look at what is produced in North Canterbury that kind of backs it up. We've got saffron, we've got wine, obviously, olive oil and olives, honey. We've got mushrooms as well, and truffles. So we've got a real range, and I guess that diversity is part of our point of difference. And also the heritage, coming from the original farmers who set up and grew because they knew that the region was fertile. So it just made sense to keep looking into other produce.
Absolutely. And definitely an incredible microclimate where it is in North Canterbury, just the way that everything falls rain-wise and wind,
yes,
etc. When it comes to the development of a brand, it takes a long time. I do definitely know that for sure. But it is around sort of people's experience with the brand, and you've got the opportunity in food and beverage to have really fun events and things like that. What's sort of on the radar?
So unfortunately we just missed out on an opportunity to showcase the brand at North Canterbury Wine and Food Festival. So we were going to have a big marquee showcasing 10 of our producers. So that was something that was going to happen, but now we're looking forward to more of a farm to plate event where we'll connect restaurants and cafes throughout Canterbury with local producers from the area.
What were some of the challenges that most food and beverage producers are telling you that they individually face, but collectively they can achieve together around, the awareness of the story and the brand and helping them collectively promote their product?
Yeah, that's a really interesting one. I think the challenges lie in supply and distribution. I think there's this old thinking around some producers not having, constant supply and trying to manage, say, 10 or 20 different smaller producers is maybe a little harder than going to a food service supplier. So we're looking at ways to solve that issue and helping them have a platform to connect direct, maybe something like a one-click ordering system. But as far as the regional storytelling, just they're growers and they're not marketers, and that's why it's my responsibility and our responsibility to actually help them tell their story and put the whole region on the map.
What's it been like dealing with the Huranui District Council and the local development agency in the Waimakariri area for the support to the local producers?
So there's this initiative covers 3 district councils, so Waimakariri District, Huranui and Kaikoura, and Enterprise North Canterbury is the economic development agency that covers those districts. The support has been resounding. We've been able to connect with their networks, and obviously we need all that support to continue the momentum to get it to where we want it to go, I guess. Yeah.
What's been the biggest learnings that you've had in this journey so far with Made North Canterbury?
I'll have to think about that one. I think just challenging some of the misconceptions around food resilience and food supply and distribution. I think it's a lot easier than before. We've got people on social media spruiking their goods and letting people know what's in season, and I think now with communication being a lot easier, it's so much more accessible to get a local supplier supplying you rather than importing or getting something that has no provenance and no connection to your restaurant or cafe.
Absolutely. The rise of e-commerce, online marketplaces over COVID really showcased how easy it is to click and have that delivered to your door as well.
Absolutely.
And how amazing to be proud of that I love entertaining and love having friends over for dinner, and to be able to share the story of the food as you were doing, that's from this farm and this is from my friend down the road, etc., etc.
Yeah, definitely.
As opposed to here's some taka.
Yeah,
dig in.
It's like this faceless food, whereas when you have a connection with these producers, I just think of a farmer's market as a beautiful example of, you go, you meet the maker or the grower, and you have a connection with them, and that food is richer for it. Like you say, you take it and you share it with your friends and family, and you can share their story, which I think is so much more special than going down to the supermarket or something.
And how have the supermarkets been in the area around supporting that storytelling? Because they have an active role to play.
They absolutely do, and fortunate for us, our local supermarkets have been supremely supportive. So Rangiora New World in particular have stepped up and let us really showcase and profile our local producers and local products in store. And we've actually got a promotion happening in April where we will have all the signage and a bit of a food and beverage trail in store with a map and
really?
tastings.
How cool.
Yeah, really exciting. And it's only made available, obviously, through the support of Robin and his team.
Fantastic. An absolute shout out. Thank you so much, because the franchisees at New Worlds are local, owned and operated, and they are so passionate about the area. Our one here in Lincoln is exactly the same as well. So, supermarkets aren't all the evil either at the same time. They're so supportive of local
They're a critical part of our food system.
Yeah.
But I think we all need to look at, ways of making it better.
Yes.
And thankfully, there are a lot of New World and other supermarket owners who are proactive in connecting with their local growers and makers.
Thank you so much, Alissa Wilson, coming in here from Made North Canterbury. I really appreciate your time, and the story is in Farmers Weekly online, farmersweekly.co.nz, and forming part of this week's Changemaker.
Oh, nice boots.
Yeah, thanks. They're new.
Ben, you alright?
Oh, yeah, sorry, mate. Just meerkatting pretty hard, eh? Yeah. I just said to myself, Ben, you work hard. You deserve new boots.